It was the strongest, clearest, and most tantalizing signal from space we have ever received. For 72 seconds, on an August night in 1977, a radio telescope picked up a powerful, narrow-band transmission that bore all the hallmarks of an intelligent, extraterrestrial source. It was a whisper that became a shout, a perfectly formed anomaly in the endless static of the cosmos. The astronomer who found it days later, reviewing the reams of computer printout, was so stunned by its perfection that he circled the alphanumeric code representing the signal and wrote a single word in the margin: "Wow." Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, it vanished. It has never been heard again. For decades, that single word has echoed through astronomy. It represents a fleeting moment when it seemed we were not alone, a cosmic phone call that we picked up for just over a minute before the line went dead. The silence that followed has been deafening, leaving us with a question that has haunted us ever since. Who called, and why did they hang up? A signal was captured by the Big Ear radio telescope, a colossal instrument that used the Earth's own rotation to scan the heavens. It stared at a fixed point, and as the planet turned, a slice of the sky would drift through its field of view. Any single, unmoving point source from deep space would be observed for exactly 72 seconds. The WOW signal lasted for 72 seconds. Its intensity rose and fell in a perfect bell curve, exactly as expected for a signal from a fixed celestial source entering, peaking, and then exiting the telescope's beam. It was not a glitch. It was not a random burst of noise. It behaved precisely as a genuine deep space transmission should. This perfect duration was the first clue that it was something extraordinary, something that was not from here. It was a whisper that knew how our telescope worked, a message that obeyed the laws of physics and celestial mechanics with unnerving precision. The transmission arrived at a frequency of 1420 megahertz. To a layperson, this number means nothing. To an astronomer searching for extraterrestrial intelligence, it is everything. This is the hydrogen line, the frequency at which neutral hydrogen atoms, the most abundant element in the universe, naturally emit radiation. In 1959, two physicists proposed that this frequency would be the perfect, universal hailing channel, a cosmic water cooler where any intelligent species with a basic understanding of physics would know to listen. It is a fundamental, unchanging constant of nature, a signpost that would be obvious to any technological civilization, no matter how different their biology or culture. The WOW signal was not just a random shout. It was a shout on the most logical and anticipated channel for a first contact. It was as if someone had walked up to a door we had been told to watch and knocked loud and clear. It was a signal that spoke our language, the universal language of physics. Furthermore, the signal was incredibly strong and clean. It was a narrow band signal, meaning all its power was concentrated into a very tight frequency range, less than 10 kilohertz wide. Natural cosmic sources, like quasars or pulsars, broadcast their energy across a wide spectrum of frequencies, like a roar of white noise. An artificial signal designed to be detected would be a focused, energy-efficient beacon, like a pure whistle in a hurricane. The WOW signal was that whistle. It was 30 times louder than the background hum of the cosmos, a clear, piercing tone that stood out from the cosmic static like a lighthouse in a fog. It had all the characteristics that scientists had predicted an alien signal would have. It came from deep space, it was on the right channel, and it had the clean, focused signature of technology. It was, for all intents and purposes, a perfect candidate. And then, there was only silence. The search for that signal continues, just as our search for cosmic truth continues here. Astronomers have returned to that same patch of sky hundreds of times with more powerful instruments, hoping to hear that whistle again. If you are listening for the answers with us, if you feel that shiver of anticipation at what might be out there, make sure your signal is locked on by subscribing to CosmoQuest 888 and hitting the bell. You will not want to miss it if we find another WOW. In the decades since, every attempt to explain the signal through conventional means has failed to be convincing. Could it have been an Earth-based signal, bouncing off a satellite or a piece of space debris? Unlikely. The frequency is in a protected part of the spectrum, where terrestrial transmissions are forbidden by international law. Furthermore, for a signal to bounce off a piece of debris and perfectly mimic a 72-second deep space source would require a series of coincidences so vast as to be statistically impossible. Could it have been a secret military satellite? No known satellite from any nation was in that part of the sky at that time. A more recent hypothesis suggested the signal came from the hydrogen cloud surrounding a pair of comets that were passing through the region. This theory gained some traction, but it has been heavily criticized. Comets emit hydrogen, but they do so over a very broad range of frequencies, not the sharp, narrow band signal that was detected. The cometary hypothesis feels like an attempt to find any natural explanation, no matter how strained, to avoid the profound implications of the alternative. If natural explanations fail, we are left with the extraordinary. What if the signal was exactly what it appeared to be? If so, what was its purpose? Perhaps it was not a message intended for conversation, but simply a beacon, a lighthouse from an interstellar probe or vessel that was passing through that region of space, broadcasting a simple "I am here" to anyone who might be listening. By the time we turned our telescopes back to that spot, the ship was already long gone, continuing its journey into the void. We just happened to be looking at the right time to catch its fleeting passage. Another possibility is the lighthouse model on a grander scale. An incredibly powerful transmitter on a distant world might be sweeping a beam across the galaxy, either deliberately or as a byproduct of some other technology. We were simply in the path of that beam for 72 seconds. The chances of it sweeping past us again could be tiny, 1 in a million or 1 in a billion. We saw the flash, but we might wait an eternity for its return. There is also a more melancholic possibility. Radio waves travel at the speed of light, but space is vast. The signal originated from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, a region thousands of light years away. We could have been listening to a ghost. The signal we received in 1977 may have been sent thousands of years ago by a civilization that is now long extinct. It could have been one of their last broadcasts, a message of hope or a final, desperate cry traveling through the cosmos long after its creators had turned to dust. We picked up an echo from a cosmic tomb, a final testament to a civilization we will never know. It would mean the great silence is not an absence of life, but an absence of life that survives. The galaxy could be filled with these fleeting whispers from dead worlds, a chorus of ghosts we are only just beginning to hear. The most chilling possibility is that the signal was deliberate, aimed directly at us, and meant to be a one-time event. But to what end? Was it a simple greeting, a test to see if we were listening? Or was it a warning shot, a way of saying, "We see you," without revealing anything more? A powerful civilization might wish to announce its presence, but not engage in conversation, a display of capability without the risk of interaction. The single, powerful burst could be a form of galactic posturing. The silence that follows is then a deliberate choice, a statement in itself. It leaves us in a state of uncertainty, aware that someone is out there, but with no information about their nature or their intentions. It is a profoundly unsettling thought to know you have been seen by an unknown observer who then retreats back into the shadows. The WOW signal has become more than just a data point. It is a cultural touchstone, a piece of scientific folklore that represents both the profound hope and the deep loneliness of our search for life in the universe. It is a constant reminder that something extraordinary might be just around the corner, hidden in the noise. It proved that our search is not entirely in vain, that strange and inexplicable signals are out there, waiting to be found. But it also highlights the immense challenge we face: 72 seconds in 45 years of searching. It is a testament to the sheer scale of the cosmos and the potential rarity of such events. The mystery of the WOW signal is not just about a strange radio transmission. It is about our place in the universe. It is the sound of one hand clapping in the cosmic cathedral, leaving us to wonder, for all time, if there was another hand there to meet it. This signal is a ghost that haunts our radio telescopes, a promise of what could be, and a constant, powerful reminder of the great cosmic quiet we are still trying to understand.